I sat down next to the new kid. Everyone was avoiding at lunch and had no idea that one small act of kindness was about to drag me into a 2-year police investigation that would change both of our lives forever. His name was Alex. He transferred to Riverside High on a Monday. By Friday, it was like he didn't exist. Empty seats all around him in a packed cafeteria. Nobody talked to him. Nobody looked at him. It was coordinated, deliberate. I'd been that kid once, middle school, eating alone for 3 months, wondering what was wrong with me. So I grabbed my tray and sat down. "Why are you sitting with me?" he asked, suspicious, like I was about to pull a prank. "Because everyone else is being weird about it, and I don't get why." He almost smiled. Almost. That was the beginning. By Monday, my best friend Derek pulled me aside. "You need to stay away from Chen. He's bad news." "Bad news how? He just got here. Just trust me. Everyone knows." Nobody could tell me what they knew. Just vague warnings. Rumors. Something about his old school. Something about incidents. "He's dangerous," they said. "Stay away." I kept sitting with Alex. 2 weeks later, I was getting notes shoved in my locker. "Stay away from Chen. You're making a mistake." Then someone spray painted his name across my locker overnight. My friend group stopped inviting me places. Stopped saving me a seat. I was being erased right alongside him. It hurt. But I was stubborn. Then I found out the truth, and my stomach dropped. Alex hadn't done something violent at his old school. He'd reported it. He'd testified against a group of kids who'd bullied him for months. Got them expelled. And somehow, by the time that story reached Riverside, he'd become the villain. The person who had twisted it? Brad Sutherland. A guy who'd never even met Alex. Brad's cousin went to Alex's old school and heard what happened. Brad thought it would be funny to destroy the new kid before he even walked through the door. Set up a reputation. Organized the exclusion. Made it a game. And Derek, Nathan, Owen, my friends, they all knew. They all played along. Then one Wednesday, Alex didn't show up to lunch. I waited. Checked my phone. Asked around. Nothing. He wasn't in afternoon classes either. I drove to his apartment after school. His mom answered in scrubs. Eyes wide with panic. "He hasn't come home." "He was marked present this morning, but nobody's seen him since 3rd period." She handed me her phone. Text messages. Dozens of them from anonymous numbers. "Kill yourself, Chen. Nobody wants you here. You should have died at your old school." Coordinated. Vicious. A whole campaign designed to break him. I told her to call the police. Told them to show the messages. Evidence of immediate danger. Then I texted Derek. "Where's Alex? What did Brad do?" He said he didn't know what I was talking about. They found Alex at 11:43 that night. Abandoned building near the school. Beaten unconscious. Fractured ribs. Concussion. He'd been lying there alone for over 8 hours while the temperature dropped. The doctor said another few hours, and he might not have survived. I couldn't breathe reading that. Detective Foster showed up at my house at 2 a.m., woke up my parents, sat us all down at the kitchen table. He looked at me and said 6 words I'll never forget. "We need your help building a case." They wanted me to go back to school the next morning. Wired up, recording everything. My mom grabbed my arm. "Absolutely not." But I thought about Alex in that building. About 8 hours of darkness and cold and nobody coming. About how I'd seen the warnings and hadn't pushed hard enough. Hadn't gone to a teacher. Hadn't done enough. "I'll do it." They taped a microphone under my shirt the next morning. A tiny transmitter feeding signal to a van parked outside Riverside. Detective Foster's last words before I walked through those front doors were simple. "Don't push. Don't accuse. Just let them talk." I sat down at Derek's lunch table for the first time in weeks. He looked at me like I was a ghost. "What are you doing here?" "Figured we should talk," I said. "About Alex. About what Brad did." Derek's jaw tightened. "We had nothing to do with that." "I didn't say you did." I leaned in. "But you knew, didn't you? When I texted you asking where Alex was, you already knew." Silence. Long and heavy. Then Derek looked down at the table and said something that made the detective in that van sit up straight. "I didn't know it was going to be that bad. Brad said he just wanted to scare him. Make him transfer. He asked if we'd help create a distraction. We said yes. We didn't know he was going to bring people. That they'd actually..." He stopped. Looked at me. Eyes suddenly sharp. "You're trying to get me to confess to something." He stood up and walked away. But the mic had already caught every word. 6 students arrested. Brad charged with attempted murder. Derek, Nathan, and Owen, conspiracy. Sentenced. All of them. And then Principal Dawson called me to his office and handed me a sealed envelope. Inside were police reports, witness statements, a commendation letter from the district attorney, and something else. Something I wasn't prepared for. I looked up at the woman in the business suit sitting across from me. She introduced herself as the chief prosecutor for juvenile crimes in the county. "Michael," she said, "we need to talk about what happens next." Full story on the channel linked below.